I wanted to shine light on this very important Reddit post because it talks about 6 issues that are wrong with the game and why the Alliance Pants of Hulk is disbanding. And I think this affects everyone. And I think that this is an important post, an important message to get to Scopely. Hopefully, by me making a YouTube video about it, more players will talk about it, and the message will eventually make it to Scopely. And not just hearing it, but actually taking action on it and making positive changes for the game, because the game is in a weird place, and without a doubt, it feels bad. And this is concerning to me. And the title of the post is End of the Pants of Hulk Journey with Marvel Strike Force. First and only post here. Too long, don't read if you don't want to. Not going to get into the debates of free-to-play versus pay-to-play players, as there are two sides to this argument. And while pay-to-play players do not chastise those who do not spend, and it's a personal choice for them, without any pay-to-play players, a company would not generate any revenue to continue to operate. So there should be and is places for both in a gaming community. And at the end of the day, Marvel Strike Force is a hobby, and some people spend money on the hobby. And for me, I used to play golf, and for me, I like this hobby a lot better than golf. And it's actually cheaper than golf for me. That issue aside, to many that have asked, yes, Pants of Hulk is disbanding this weekend. It's been a long journey together and have met many great people in both this alliance and the community. People that share knowledge, that work together to try to help solve problems and to support each other, whether it be in-game or dealing with terrible real-life situations. And I think I first heard of Pants of Hulk because that was the alliance that Seaton was in. And then I know that Philosopher was in Pants of Hulk for quite a bit of time as well. One word comes to mind when it comes to Scopely and Marvel Strike Force: untenable. As a long-time player and lover of all things Marvel, we've continued to play this game through all the ups and downs. As Scopely has grown, so has the game. We love challenges. We love puzzles. As a company continues to generate revenue and grow, you expect things to get better. No company is perfect. After all, it's run by human beings, and people make mistakes. But you learn from those and don't keep making the same ones over and over again. Marvel Strike Force has gotten to a point on 6 specific issues that it no longer supportable by many of us that do spend money on the game. I don't care what level you're playing at and what level of spending you're comfortable. Those are your decisions, and you should be happy. But this company does not seem to get it nor care, or frankly, they're just inexperienced and incompetent to be dealing with these issues. In particular, these issues, these major areas that are at issue are the amount of time required to spend the game economy, continual bugs, and lack of quality assurance. Broken meta, devaluation of rosters and power creep, broken game modes, seemingly little to no progress on any fronts in recognizing that we are your customers. Yes, we typically only see what's happening externally. Not all things are going on internally, but we are your customers. We are the ones funding your growth and development, and we are the ones feeling taken advantage of. Game time, point number 1. This has continued to get worse and worse. This is not my job. This is not my life. Yet, so much of my life is governed by Scopely's decisions on when I have to get things done. Wars 3 times a week, which with topic 4 has now become competitive 100% of the time, to the point where we need very active participation from everyone each and every war. We are working professionals that cannot be expected to spend this amount of time on a mobile game. We're not in the pandemic any longer. People have to go back to the office, to the job site, visit customers, and so on. We asked for new game modes forever, and the expectation was new challenges, not massive time commitments. The amount of time required for Crucible War, Scourge's Tower is just grown exponentially. Game economy. We've been hearing this is being addressed for some time, but all we've seen is offers getting worse and worse. Zombie Iron Man's release was the final straw for many. To expect people to pay over $300 to unlock a single character is just absurd any longer. We've allowed this long to go on too long, by many supporting prior purchase of the cost of Blue ISO 4 was really when this path started down a dark road. In order for people to keep up at the top levels, G17 and Blue ISO 4 become super critical, and it's just too pricey. You've priced us out of the game. We no longer wish to fund Scopely at all. You had two choices to make: lower the cost, make resources more available such that more free-to-play players would now step up and invest, or try to milk more and more share out of the wallet of top spenders, and you opted to go the second route, which has broken the spirit of many players now. Microtransactions are one thing, but this game has long become macrotransactions, and the tolerance has ended. People play a game they can progress on, not be at the mercy of Scopely gating so many things. If people are free to play, their progress will be much slower, but for pay to play, faster. Now it's just become untenable and unsustainable any longer. Bugs in QA, and this affects everybody. For the amount of money many of us have spent your way, it's just surprising that externally it doesn't seem like anything can be done right. The latest patch, all the leaderboards are broken. Zymer Ironman isn't showing up for promotion credits correctly. Every time there's a change made, 15 other things break. Offers are faulty. Just plain text is often incorrect. Matchmaking gets broken. It's surprising how little of this is caught before being pushed live. We don't want compensation any longer. We want things to work as advertised. Yeah, I feel like compensation is a trap. They control the economy, and what they give us may mean very little because they can just take it away from something else in the future that they would have given us anyways. And so I think what I personally want is for things to work correctly the first time. Compensation may feel good, but it's really like sugar. It's just a temporary thing. It's a quick burst of energy and nothing more. It's not a long-term solution. Just giving out compensation every time something is busted. Broken meta and power creep. We expect some power creep to happen, and I'm smart enough to know and see how the pendulum swings from one direction to the other from time to time, but not to point to massively devaluing prior investments. First, you force everyone, because of Apocalypse and the Sagas, to be building all the same rosters now, which took away from the reason many over here building and theory crafting on their own. But now with the introduction of Underworld, Gamma, and now Undying, you've completely devalued the things we're just forcing us to all have invested in. The three squads punch up ridiculous amounts, all of the top meta. Undying with 2 tunes, a total of 300k, can beat existing full metas of 1 million or more. How ridiculous is this? Broken game modes. War was the most fun game mode most of us had, but this was broken when Heroes for Hire came out and how long it took to have a resolution. Then the moment we do, you come out with Young Avengers, which takes away that solution. Then Darkhold, then Gamma, and so on. It's becoming the most time-consuming modes and the most toxic. Crucible was fun at first due to the interaction amongst players, but now it's broken as well, and so is Arena. Tower, we keep holding, was delayed due to being reworked, and then when it finally drops, it's the same thing as it was several months ago. No changes in the floor and no changes in the rewards. No progress. We are your customers. There should be a middle ground where players are happy, having fun, being successful, and Scopely is doing well financially. There has been a complete lack of progress for a very long time, to the point where players are only playing because of friendships, not because of the game that will only last so long, which gets us to where we're at now. Many players have decided enough is enough. You've lost customers, you've lost supporters, and ultimately impact your bottom line. It's been suggested for months about players' council to get real input before the things are problems. It just seems Scopely is in its own bubble and not listening to the people and keeping the doors open. This is not a player group of players that are sulking and angry. This has been slow boiling for many months, to the point where the dam just broke. I'm sure I missed a lot of other issues that people have. At the end of the day, we had fun. It was a journey. So this originally was somebody quitting the game, and they had to modify the post because of the rules on Reddit. But they're stating the reasons why they're done playing the game. And I think this is, if not all, but many of these points we've all felt. And hopefully Scopely gets the message on this, because I feel like we're in a weird place and the game is in a weird place. And when some of the heaviest spenders in the game, Pants of Hulk is one of the larger spender alliances, and they're calling it quits. And my understanding is 2/3 of them are actually quitting the game. Hopefully something happens, because if the spenders quit spending, there is no game, and they've got to do something. And if there's no, same thing is true. If there's no free to play players, then there's no game as well. I mean, the game needs both to continue. What do you think about all of this? Where are you at? It's a tough one. I just know that the game is in a weird spot, and it definitely feels bad. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.